Good evening. Welcome to the 14th Annual East Conference. I'm Faith Thomas from Star City High School, and I'm this year's Associate Ambassador Team Leader.
Hello, I'm Molly Churchwell from Greenbrier High School, and I'm this year's Ambassador Team Leader. We would like to start by introducing you to an esteemed member of the East Initiative's Board of Directors and the COO of In-Flight Technologies.
Please help us welcome to the stage Mr. David Moody.
Good evening. I'm so glad to be here. I have the great fortune of getting to work with a lot of startup companies around the state, and so I'm really excited that our keynote speaker is here with us tonight. Got to spend some time with him this afternoon and really enjoyed it. He's a high energy, innovative guy, and I think you're going to really enjoy his talk tonight. Scott Case is with us tonight. He's the former Chief Technology Officer of a little company called Priceline you might have heard of. He's an entrepreneur, a technologist, an inventor. He's named on a number of patents. Because of his financial success, he's been able to also get involved in some philanthropic activities, such as an organization called Network for Good. And I'm really excited that he's here because there's a lot of momentum right now in the state for the next generation of entrepreneurs. And I know that I'm looking at a couple of them right now as I look around the room. So if you'll give a big East welcome to our keynote speaker, Scott Case.
Doctor, I don't think I need that. Good, thank you. Hello everybody, I'm Scott Case. Thank you all for having me. Woo! We stop that? Try it again. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Case, and I'm thrilled to be here in Arkansas. I want to start first by congratulating all of you, especially the students that are here, for what you've managed to accomplish. I got a chance to walk around today and see some really amazing solutions, some really challenging problems in their communities. So much so that I actually want to start off by kind of getting everybody out of their seats, which won't come as a surprise to people who know me well. So, if you are in kindergarten to 5th grade, would you please stand up and make some noise? All right, 6th graders to 8th graders, come on, let's hear it. Okay, high school students, go! Now, to you K through 5th graders, you want to try again? Let's go. That was better. All right, last group. All the old people in the room, bring it on now. Okay, all the students, give it back to them. You guys are awesome, and that's what this is all about. You have really stepped up in a big way, and when I think about my own life experiences, I can tell you that the type of learning that you're engaged in is what's going to set you apart and really drive the talent for our country. As we're talking here, I have a little assignment for you. So those of you who have mobile phones of any kind or mobile devices, iPads, iPods, Androids, whatever the tool of the day is, what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to tweet something right now. What I want you to do is, I want you to tweet the end of this sentence. And I think the hashtag's up there. EastCon 2013. I love EastCon 2013 because. Make sure you use the hashtag. And I want as our goal to see if we can blow up Twitter. Because they haven't been blown up in a while, and why not tonight? So try to blow up Twitter. I love EastCon 2013 because. And while you guys do that, I'm going to yap a little bit about me. So when I was in high school, I had this brilliant idea that I was going to start my own lawn cutting business. And I thought I was really smart. I spent the summer, I hijacked my father's lawnmower. I went around the community and I got a few lawn cutting assignments. And I might have put together maybe $500 or $1,000 that summer cutting people's grass. Now I can tell you, I did not like cutting grass. It was like my least favorite thing to do, but I was able to make some money, and I thought I was really smart. So I get back to high school. I must have been a sophomore in high school at the time, and I met up with my buddy John, and I asked him how his summer was. He said, it was great. I made a little bit of money. And I said, oh, me too. And I told him all about how I had gotten my dad's lawnmower, and I'd gone out and I'd started cutting grass and the money that I made. He said, oh, yeah, I got into that business too. I said, oh, tell me more about it. And he said, well, I went out and I borrowed a little bit of money and I bought some heavy-duty equipment, and then I hired some people to work for me, and we went around, and he didn't have a driver's license, mind you. So he hired some people to work for him to cut the grass for him while he went out and got accounts, and he managed to get somebody to drive him. And he had made something like 10 times the amount of money that I made doing the same thing over the summer. And it was then that I learned that one of the key lessons to building companies was to figure out how to build a team and go for scale. And I'm going to come back to that theme in a minute, but my own experience kind of led me to do a series of different things. I started another company when I was in high school that was much more scalable, connecting computers together at a time when computers didn't talk to each other. I started a company in college, worked on general aviation. I started with a college professor. We built a flight simulator that ran on a personal computer at the time, started that company up. And I learned a few key lessons along the way. One of them was that I really wanted to become much better at how to tell stories, become a marketer. And I got introduced to a guy who became a really close friend of mine. His name was Jay Walker. And Jay and he interviewed me. And during the interview process, he said something really powerful. And so it's one takeaway I want you to take tonight. He said, Scott, you don't get to choose many things in this life. You don't get to choose where you were born. You don't get to choose who your parents are. You don't get to choose your siblings. You almost really don't even get to choose your friends. But you get to choose what you work on, how you spend and invest your time. And he said, Scott, small ideas take just as much effort and energy as big ideas. So if you're going to spend your time on something, choose to spend your time on big ideas. Solve big problems. Focus on big solutions. Don't just settle for the small ones. Well, Jay and I went on to work together, and we started a company together called Priceline.com. Jay was the founder. I was part of the founding team. We went from $0 in sales to $1 billion in sales in 24 months. So for those of you who are juniors, imagine starting your junior year, and by your senior year, you've driven $1 billion in revenue. Now, that's pretty cool and very exciting. It was also incredibly terrifying. At the time, I think I was about 28 years old, and candidly, I really had no idea what we were doing, but we were working really, really hard, and we were building a company in the early stages of the internet, and we built something that worked. It was then that I realized kind of the big sort of second lesson in my life that I really want to share with you all, and I want you to think about how this applies as you move on to your next thing. So when I left Priceline, I was reflecting on this notion of solve big problems, focus on big ideas, and that's kind of how I've spent my life. I started a company and have scaled a company called Network for Good that's helped over 50,000 nonprofits raise almost $1 billion online, small and mid-sized nonprofits all around the country. I spent about 4.5 years working on ending malaria deaths in Africa, where right now a child dies about every minute. When we started the project, it was twice that rate, so about 1 million kids were dying every year. And so as I reflect on that, I started to think about some of the challenges in those big ideas. So I want to give you one test that you can use. I'll move to the other side here. So here's your test. And it's really challenging. It's both inspiring and troubling. So a part of the test is, actually it comes from my wife. She gave me a block of aluminum a couple of years ago, maybe about 5 years ago now. And it has a modified quote from a guy named Pastor Schuller. And the quote goes like this: "What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?" I'm going to say it again. What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? And what makes that a challenging statement and a challenging test and an inspiring one? The challenging side is that the whole focus on what you attempt to do is fascinating because it implies that you might not get there. It might not work. You might fail at it. And then the back half basically says you can't fail, which opens up all kinds of opportunities. But most importantly, what it does is it eliminates a whole set of excuses for you not to act. It suggests that if you could attempt to do something really big, really game-changing, something to be transformative in the lives of many other people, then you should attempt it. You should go for it. You should try to make it happen. So what I challenge you students to do is, you've started on this journey with East, which is an incredibly powerful program. You are very, very lucky to have had the chance to go through this. Step up your game. Challenge yourselves to take the ideas, the problems, the challenges in your community to the next level. What would make them that much bigger? And what I'll say to you, you are on the leading edge. You are going to see things in ways that the adults in the room can't see them. You can set the bar much higher for yourselves and, frankly, for the rest of us to step up and help you accomplish things, because I can tell you that there's almost nothing you will attempt to do that you will fail. You'll find a way. Because of the skills that you're learning, you'll find a way. And there are solutions to the world's problems. We just have to put the energy to them. So thank you all so much for being here. I know I'm going to be able to take some questions. If you have some questions for me via Twitter, you can just use the same hashtag and ask them, and I'm happy to do that. So thank you all for having me here. I appreciate it. Now, I'm looking for Blaine. No? There's Blaine. Blaine, come on up here. Let's give everybody a round of applause for Blaine, okay? All right. For real, an applause for Blaine. Come on. That's better. All right. Did we blow up Twitter? We did blow up Twitter. Oh, good. All right, good.
Okay.
Who knows?
Hello? We good?
We're good.
Okay. Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? I blame my parents. How's that? So I had a father who was an engineer. He was a computer guy. He worked at a big company called Controlled Data Corporation. And he introduced technology and engineering problem solving into my life at a very early age. And my mom really taught me an incredibly valuable lesson, which was when you give and you help other people, when you give of yourselves, you get way more in return. And so I've spent my whole life using that problem-solving engineering skills and trying to invest in other people and helping them do what they do. And I can tell you that the payoff has been incredible for me.
What attribute should an East student exhibit in order to be successful in the real world?
How do you use East as a tool to do this? So let's walk. Come on. This is going to be an active thing, okay? So East. One of the things that I think is really important is your problem-solving skills. So we did a little session, a little breakout session earlier today. What I'd say is use the steps and the process that you're going through at East and think about how the challenges that you're posing for yourselves that you want to tackle, and then think of the biggest possible set of those challenges, and then focus on what those possible solutions are, because that's the process of creating successful companies. The most successful companies in the world identify a very specific challenge or problem and solve it. Now, the trick to creating wealth is to understand how you do that in a way that other people are willing to pay you to do it. So think about, that's basically developing a business model for your business. And so what I would suggest, I saw a lot of really powerful service projects here. But what I challenge all of you to do when you think about your projects for next year, or even the ones you have now, think about how you could create a business model around them. Who might pay you to solve that problem? Because that's how you create real businesses, and that's how you create real wealth.
What helped you get your start?
What helped me get my start? I was lucky. I was born into a good family where I had parents who cared about me. We live in America, so you all have that lottery ticket that you get to. And I got a good education. I was in a place where I was able to learn. I was challenged by my teachers. I was also challenging to my teachers, so I spent quite a bit of time with the principal sometimes. It turns out, by the way, for the parents in the room, give me a round of applause for parents. So parents, I had this insight. I have 4 children myself. I had this really powerful insight about 5 years ago. And it goes like this. The kinds of people that I want to hire for my companies, persistent, never take no for an answer, really creative, think outside the box, right? They really challenge you on things. Those are the traits that drive me insane about my own children. So when you get frustrated about that kid who's going at you over and over and over again and challenging you when you've said no to whatever it is and they keep at it anyway, remember that's the head of sales of some of the largest companies in the world, okay? So that's for me, that nurturing piece is kind of where I got.
What motivates you?
Other people. The thing that I'd say is most important for you, that's a great question. The thing that I'd say is most important as you think about developing as people, and this goes for everybody in the room, the most powerful asset to help you get to where you want to go is the people around you. It's the other relationships that you have, and you want to connect with those people early and often. So if you have an idea you're trying to focus on, get those people engaged early. Figure out a way to share your idea with as many people as you can, because the more engaged they are early, the more likely they're to help you down the line. In fact, I'll give everybody, let's go this way. I'm going to give everybody a homework assignment, because you're all from all over multiple states, right? So here's what I want you guys to do. Before the conference is over, I want everybody in the room to meet 3 people you do not already know, okay? 3 people you don't already know. All right, you guys all game for that? Who's game? 3 people, okay? Let's do it, come on. Do we have time? Keep going then.
Okay.
If you got more questions, let's go.
Let's do. The 3 best principles that make a successful entrepreneur in startups are?
Talent. Building a great team around you. That doesn't necessarily mean the people that are working on your business, but build a great team around you from the very beginning. So talent is 1. Persistence. Keep banging away at the challenges that you face, the obstacles that you face. It's critical for you to work through those things. And I guess the final piece of it is think big about what it is that you're working on. I know I've said that a few times. If there's one thing to take away from this, think really, really big. In fact, the launch of Startup Arkansas happens tomorrow, and the theory and the theme behind Startup Arkansas is all about thinking big, and it's Think Big Arkansas. So think big is sort of a key theme.
How do I know if my project would be a viable business?
That's a really great question. So a lot of things that we do at Startup America, where I'm the CEO, we focus on helping companies grow their businesses. And one of the things that we do is we spend a lot of time helping connect them in communities. It's one of the reasons why I've suggested you network with people around you, because the power of those connections is really key. And here's why. If you want to know if your idea is a good idea, validate it against your customers. Talk to the people who you think are going to pay you for what you want to do. So one of the things we spend a lot of time in Startup America is we work with startup communities, find all the startups that are there, connect them to each other as a way to start to test their ideas against each other, because the only way for you to find out whether your idea is worth anything or not is to validate it against other people who ultimately could pay you for what it is that you want to do.
How do East students get involved in your business?
How do East students get involved in Startup America? So your number one thing, anybody here is from Arkansas? Visit, yeah, who's from Arkansas? Let's hear it. There's something about bringing hogs out. What's that? How does that go? Bring the, that's what I was waiting for. Okay. So anybody? Wow, that was good. It's not going to stop now, is it? Okay. Maybe we're done. Is there one more time? Okay. Woo! So, you guys are in Arkansas. Visit startuparkansas.com. That's a way to get involved and get engaged here. And if you're from other states, you can simply visit www.s, the letter S as in startup.co, and you can click on your state and find the community around you to get plugged into. We don't care whether you're 5 years old and you have a fantastic idea, 50 years old, or 95 years old and have a great idea. Come get involved with your startup community.
Then you broke Twitter, so.
I broke Twitter. That was the end of it, huh? Well, very good. Well, thank you, Blaine. Thank you all very much. I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks.
Scott, thank you so much for coming, for visiting, for seeing. Guys, when we first found out Scott was coming, we were expecting somebody to roll in about 45 minutes ago and roll out in 10. He spent all afternoon with us, visiting, seeing, and understanding. We have a small remembrance. In our appreciation.
Hey, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But we have somebody here who would also like to give a small remembrance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Governor Mark Darr.
Need your mic. How are y'all doing? Thank you so much for being here. I couldn't agree more with what you just said. I had a conversation earlier, and it was such a refreshing difference to be around someone who's successful but also still humble. And so thank you so much for coming, sharing your wisdom with the group and with our state. And in Arkansas, we have a tradition. When somebody comes to Arkansas, other than calling the hogs, which if you call it, you got to finish it. But rather than just calling the hogs, we have an Arkansas Traveler Award that we give. And it's somebody who comes who may not be from our state, but where you go back from, that you take stories of Arkansas. And so as Lieutenant Governor, I'm honored to present you the Arkansas Traveler Award. Thank you. All right. Thank you. And one more. I'll take this one. This is actually our Lieutenant Governor's Award, and it's an Arkansas Natural. Arkansas is known as the natural state, and so you are naturally a successful person. And so thank you for sharing your wisdom with this group, and I'm just honored that you're here. I am jealous of your shoes, and it's part of the deal, and I think we would get a lot more work done at the Capitol if we wore stuff like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very, very much. Scott Case, one more time. All right. Every year, in addition to the many, 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 many projects that our students work on, East throws out a challenge in a area that we call the National Service Project. We throw out the idea that in addition to all of your other projects, please focus on this project as well. This year, that project was opportunity and entrepreneurship. We challenged our students to find a problem and seek out a solution using entrepreneurial skills. To help us this year, our friends at the Arkansas Capital Corporation sponsored a contest that was held earlier this morning. Here to talk about that and to give away some awards is Mr. Sam Walls of the Arkansas Capital Corporation.
Thank you very much. I have never done a theater in the round before, so I try to face everybody at one point or another. You said I'm with Arkansas Capital Corporation. We've been around Arkansas since 1957. We're money guys primarily. Our role in life is to provide capital in various forms to business people trying to have ideas, some startups, some more mature companies, but trying to get kind of the lifeblood of business money into that. We've been doing that since 1957. And about 20 years ago, we started saying, what more could we do? And you started looking at it, and we started talking about how people, businesses are money, but it also takes people. Scott talked about that a great deal. And so we really started talking about how we could promote entrepreneurship. And around that time, we started hearing about this EAST program. And you know what you do with that program, but we really got interested in it. And it's not just because you guys are great kids. I got to tell you, I'm very thankful that I'm not competing with you for employment anytime in the near future. Every one of you guys are so polished, so confident. I know I wasn't at this point in my life, your point in my life. So fortunately, I have a few years before I have to compete with you for employment. But we got into this thing, and if you look at what you did, Matt talked about it, to come up with your ideas, and I think you have to do it every year. And that is, where is there a need? How do I fix that need? And that's really entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur looks at the world a little differently. Scott is a great example of that. He looked out there and saw a need, and to his point, people would pay him to fix that need. And so you just look at the world a little differently. It's, when some people are complaining because, hey, the line's too long or this thing doesn't work right, an entrepreneur works at it and says, well, wait a minute, if I do it this way, or if I fix it that way, or if I built an entirely new thing, people would like that. People would want to pay me money for it. It's the old saying, build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door. Well, that's not entirely accurate. The next line is, if you can show them why they need it. And that's an entrepreneur. So that was, I think, where our relationship with EAST started. We saw a great connection, and this year was a great opportunity to do this elevator pitch contest. Now, if you're not familiar what an elevator pitch contest is, imagine being in the elevator with Scott, and you've got your new business, and you're all excited about it, and you're running around trying to get people to invest in you. And you get in the elevator with Scott, and you got 90 seconds. It's just the two of you. How are you going to use that 90 seconds to make them say, you know what, that's a great idea. I want to hear more about it. And that's harder than you think. I mean, most of you, probably all of you, if I gave you 10 minutes or 20 minutes and came to your booth today at the exhibit, you could tell me all about, hey, here's why we did this thing, this is what it does, this is the need it meets. But could you do it in 90 seconds? Could you do it in 90 seconds so that I walk away saying, that's a great idea. I understand that. I see value in that. And that's just something you really have to work at. So this was a competition we put up together this year. I'd like to see it to be an annual event. We have a $1,000 prize that'll go to the class that wins it, and they'll just do whatever they want with it, and a couple of plaques for the winners who did the competition today. I believe we have a video. So a bunch of you competed in this. We narrowed it down to 7 finalists. And then today they presented in person to a panel of judges. And I think we're going to show you a video of the top 3. So we'll roll that now.
Fourth through fifth grade EAST students wanted to take on the challenge to be entrepreneurs at our school. We studied entrepreneurs of Arkansas, including Sam Walton and J.B. Hunt. We learned about how they recognized an opportunity and used their resources to create a successful business. Since many students do not practice saving money on a regular basis, East students decided that they and their peers would benefit from a savings bank at our school. East students filled out a survey that highlighted their entrepreneurial traits and applied online for the positions they wanted in the bank, such as tellers, supervisors, marketing team members, and security guards. The marketing department presented a skit about saving as well as created forms to use in the bank. The supervisors went to each 3rd through 5th grade class and presented the policies and procedures of the bank.
The bank is open 1 day a week in the mornings. Students must maintain a balance of at least $1 in their account for it to remain active. Students are given account numbers and receive a bank book that they must bring to the bank each time with either a deposit or withdrawal slip. The Roberts East Bank has 2 purposes. The first is to provide East 3rd through 5th grade students a real-life saving experience in a bank. The second is to provide East students a chance to create and maintain a successful business. Our bank has just begun to impact our school. Our goal is to encourage 3rd through 5th grade students with the opportunity to save and continue saving until the end of 5th grade. We heard a student say, "This is going to work for me. My mom is paying me $1 every week to deposit into my account. I'm not sure how much money the student knows he'll have at the end of the 5th grade, but I'm sure his mom does. We hope our banking experience lives up to our motto, where equals grow their nest eggs for the future."
My name is Sam Hunter Cox,
And I'm Austin Acklin. And I'm Shaquille Terry.
and we represent the collaborative effort between the Rise and Shine Downtown Development Council and the Rise and East Initiative Program in order to renew and revitalize the Rising Downtown area.
In the 1890s, Roslyn started as a rural community with many businesses. In the 1960s, Roslyn reached its peak. Since then, the downtown area has reached a great decline.
Rising's downtown area is in very dire straits. As you can see from this picture, buildings have already crumbled and several more are beginning to crumble as well.
The Rise and Shine Economic Development Council, which consists of business people, government officials, and citizens of Roslyn, decided to start the revitalization with the Pocket Park. They believe this would be a great opportunity for Roslyn as a whole.
The Rise and Shine Council came to us asking to create models using Trimble SketchUp in order to give a good visual representation of the Pocket Park. Since then, we have gone to several meetings in order to gain positive feedback, and we have used this feedback to create better models, as you see before you today.
The Pocket Park has already started to draw in more donations, and 4 more businesses have moved into the Rising downtown area, including a sandwich shop, a pharmacy, a consignment shop, and a photo studio.
Future plans for the Pocket Park include, of course, the sandwich shop, a path to walk through it with your friends, benches in order to rest and talk to your friends, a stage for plays and such, and also picnic tables for you to eat after you get your meal from the sandwich shop. Will there be any questions?
Hello, my name is Zach Jones and this is Jackson Hollis. We are from Monticello Intermediate School East. Let me tell you how our project got started. One afternoon we were headed down to the trail to look for a student, and one of our own East students couldn't get down the trail, Matt. So not only the trail was all grown up, but he was in a wheelchair. So we spent weeks clearing out the trail so we could build a handicap accessible bridge for all students.
We designed the handicap bridge using SketchUp that is 5 feet wide and has side rails. Potlatch and Warren donated the supplies and materials needed to build the bridge. We submitted a grant to Arkansas Game and Fish Commission to add an outdoor classroom, some game cameras, and benches for the nature trail. By building this bridge, not only Matt, but all the students will have the opportunity of experiencing learning outside the walls of our school building.
This truly hasn't been the easiest project by any means. We received a phone call whenever we were coming to conference from our principal telling that Matt passed away whenever we were coming to conference. We decided to name the bridge after Matt in his memory, and all the other students will have a walk to remember.
Those were great. One more round of applause for everyone who participated in that. All right, as I said, it's a $1,000 cash prize to the class, and then some plaques for the two presenters. I'm going to call out the name, and I ask the people who did the elevator pitch and their sponsor to come up and receive the award. All right. The winner of what I hope is the first of an annual event of the elevator pitch contest is Zach Jones and Jackson Hollis from Monticello Intermediate School. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy. Good job. You did a great job. Matt, just call the number in there. We'll be good. Congratulations to everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Walls. Next, we will be introducing our CPO Awards. You have all been judged by a panel of judges today, and you will have the opportunity to see how your schools fared. My name is Luke Burton, and it has been a pleasure to get to know all of you. You guys are a fantastic crowd.
We're going to watch a short video.
We all have a story. We love to share, and we love to celebrate when successful. These are key reasons for the East Conference: celebration and sharing of great work and accomplishments. One opportunity for students to share is the CPO, Conference Program Overview. As each East program is unique, only basic guidelines are given for the CPO. And using these guides, students create a formal presentation tailored to their unique East story. Earlier today, a team of judges followed this guide as the students presented their story, giving a snapshot of their processes and projects. Presentation high points are to include student growth, community involvement and service, and the overall impact of their East program. Judges also look for complexity of their projects, teamwork, along with presentation skills. Along with the CPO presentation, other items included in the overall scoring include pre-conference activities along with their booth display. We have over 60 judges assisting with the CPO this year. This includes a number closely associated with East, supporters of East for many years, peers, and representatives from multiple professions. We thank them for their time and interest in the overall mission of East and assisting with this year's conference program overview. Tonight, we recognize and celebrate East programs that rate overall superior on the conference program overview. What does this mean? This means that prepping for conference was managed well. Their booth gives a good overview of their work, and the presentation before the judges was on the mark. Each program receiving superior on the conference program overview will send one member of their team to the stage when announced. Thank you to all of our East programs and judges for another great year. So here we go with our first round of superior CPO ratings.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lauren White from Star City High School.
Good evening again, and my name is Luke Burton from Harbor High School.
We had the first rounds of school rated superior on the conference program overview.
Next, whenever we say your name, you will approach the stage, we will give you your award, you will come on stage, and you will face out towards the section that you're sitting in, that your team is sitting in. You will face out so we can take a picture. Congratulations to everybody.
Can I get a drum roll, please? Gravette High School. Harrisburg High School. Indian Capital Technology Center. Farmington High School. Newport High School.
Miss Lauren, what was the first school one more time? The first school one more time. The first school?
Gravette High School. Kiamichi Technology Centers.
The next school is Prairie Grove Middle School. Congratulations. Russellville High School. Congratulations. Monticello High School. Congratulations. Paragould Junior High School. Well done. Stuttgart High School. Good job. Van Buren High School. Whitehall High School. Good job. Van Buren, also good job. Brooklyn High School. Congratulations. College Hill Elementary School. Great job. Dover High School. Congratulations. Great work. Greenland High School. Well done. Mansfield High School. Thank you so much. Sonora Elementary School. Congratulations, Sonora. And Wynn High School. Thank you very much, Wynn. These are your CPO first superior group. Let's give them a round of applause. Remember, guys, nice and beautiful smiles facing out towards the crowd.
The East Founders Award is given in recognition of programs that best exemplify the application of principles that are essential to East. Service to the community through sophisticated projects that lead to vast student growth. Through active participation in East, students gain a real understanding of contributing to their community. Students discover the age-old truth that service to others is fundamental in enhancing the value of self and the building of confidence. The Founders Award is earned by students that understand their role in service to others requires great effort. Finding solutions often requires the development of complex, multi-layered endeavors. East provides the time, tools, and resources. Students bring talent, find the answers, which increases their value to their community. Students find that accepting challenges and finding solutions require tremendous growth in themselves. They cultivate natural talent and interest through hard work, patience, perseverance, and courage. They stretch, create, they innovate, they think. East students get things done. Through the East Founders Award, we will recognize 4 East programs. 3 programs will be recognized for each excelling in one of the 3 key areas of East: community service, project sophistication and innovation, and student growth. The 4th program recognition is the final event of the evening, when we will be recognizing the one East program that excels in all 3 areas. This program will receive the overall East Founders Award. In recognizing these 4 programs, we celebrate the efforts of these students, their facilitators, communities, and schools. Through the efforts of these students, their programs are reaching seemingly impossible expectations, bettering the world around them, making us all proud as we all benefit from their excellence in a world we call East.
How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, that's not good enough. How's everybody doing? That's what I like to hear. All right, so we just went through an explanation of what the Founders Awards are, but you might want to know what they're winning. So let's see what we've got over here. First off, let's see. Oh, we have a Trimble Juno SB unit. And this is also going to come with the Trimble Pathfinder Office software latest version, as well as a copy of TerraSync, so you can get all your GPS data points off here. And this was donated by Trimble this year. They've done this for a number of years, so if I could just go ahead and pause, and let's go ahead and give Trimble a round of applause. Thank you for that donation. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, all the Founders Award recipients will also receive this exclusive limited platinum edition Yeti USB microphone. I don't know if y'all have ever used these. These are awesome. I have one at the house. I love it. All right, what else? Oh, have an Apple bag here. It's a pretty popular brand. Let's see what's in here. We've got an Apple TV, 3rd generation 1080p, and of course, you can't have an Apple TV without some sort of iOS device. All of our Founders Awards recipients will be receiving an iPad mini as well. All right, in addition, the overall Founders winner will receive all of these prizes, as well as a mobile HP workstation loaded with e-software. It's got ArcGIS, all the software that we can provide licenses for. It's installed, ready to go for you when you get back in your classroom. The Founders Awards package and the category winners, those are valued at over $2,300, and our overall Founders winners has a prize package of over $3,300. So, wow. So let's figure out who won the first category.
Good evening. I'm Katie Haupt from Bismarck High School. And I'm Luke Methvin from Hope High School. We'll be introducing the Founders Awards, the first winner. We've got them right here on these papers. So we're going to open them and let you know who they are.
One of the key components that separates East from similar programs is involvement in the community.
East students work with projects that add value, benefit others with real purpose.
Our first East Program of Excellence, as part of the Founders Award, goes to a program that has very strong ties in its community.
This East program has made many connections outside the comforts of their East classroom, many of which involve long-term commitments.
This East program was chosen as Program of Excellence for community service for their continuous effort in reaching out and supporting the community.
A community, not just a school, that is driven by their East program. At Dardanelle High School.
Hello. We're East at Dardanelle High School, and it is a pleasure and honor to be here before you guys for community collaboration. East at Dardanelle is truly everywhere, and it is amazing the things that we've gotten to do with throughout our community, with working with the police station, to let alone our environmental area miles across Dardanelle.
Our initiative to go out into our community and do whatever we can to make our community a better place is what I believe won us this award.
Thank you guys so much for giving us this opportunity to be up here. It is truly an honor, and I want to give a good hearty yee-huh.
Congratulations to Dardanelle. Everybody know this guy? This is Mr. Tim Stevenson. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, guys.
Here you go. One more for Dardanelle. Go Sand Lizards. Thanks, guys.
One of the coolest things about East is we get to listen to these bumpin' tunes, don't we, Lauren?
All the music you hear tonight is produced by East students.
What you've been listening to all week long is made especially from them. So let's give them a second to recognize the work that they are doing.
We would also like to once again congratulate Trey Lewis from Nettleton Junior High, who was voted winner of the music competition by those attending the opening plenary yesterday.
Congratulations. Once again, congratulations to all the East composers. You guys have kept us moving and grooving all week long. Next, I know what you're wondering, what might we do next? And that would be the CPO Group 2. Please give all these schools a round of applause.
We didn't announce all of the schools, Superior Schools, the first round, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Bauxite Schools. Wiener High School. Annie Camp Junior High School. Crossit High School. Lincoln High School. Magnolia Junior High School. And Mountain Pine High School.
Now we'll move on to our second group. Now that we've got caught up, we'll let these guys stay up here for the pictures. So to start off our second group, will you please give a hand for Wilson Intermediate School, Lone Oak Middle School, Springdale High School, West Fork High School, Valonia High School, Ashdown High School, Dardanelle High School, Harrisburg Middle School, Joe T. Robin High School, Marshall High School, Monticello Intermediate School, Pulaski Heights Middle School, Sylvan Hills High School. Congratulations.
Dumas High School. Phelps Schools. Mountain View High School. Greenland Middle School. Cabot High School. Malvern Elementary School. North Heights Junior High School. Green Forest Schools. College Hill Middle School Magnet Academies. Beebe High School. Lake Hamilton High School. Paris High School. And Russellville Junior High School. Please give these schools a round of applause.
Congratulations to all these schools and their accomplishments. Let's give them one big more hooping and hollering round of applause.
We're back with more conference program overviews. Finding a project is one of the most difficult tasks of being an E student. The best project is one that piques our interest while providing opportunities for real solutions.
Projects that give opportunity to work towards these solutions are complex and require sophisticated and multi-layered solutions.
These are projects that involve much more than just dreaming and relying on others to provide solutions. It involves commitment, intensity, courage, patience, and perseverance.
The East Founders Award of Excellence for Project Sophistication recognizes the program that continues to take on projects that have a significant and lasting impact on their community.
This East program has built a legacy of performance that gives their community the confidence to have a very high expectation, and they are never disappointed.
Congratulations to the East program that best demonstrates project sophistication, proudly representing
Greenbrier High School.
My name is Hunter Thrasher, and my name is Hayden Thrasher, and we're very honored to get the Project Sophistication Award. Here at Greenbrier High School, we specialize in one thing, and that's taking a small project and turning it into something great and sophisticated. We would like to thank you for this award.
We are putting a lot of schools on stage tonight. There's a lot of good things happening in East. Tonight is about East programs and our East Core schools. But that doesn't tell the whole story of what's going on in East classes across the country. Yesterday, students were awarded in individual competitions in our project showcase. At the opening plenary, a number of our supporters and partners awarded schools in various competitions. On the screen, there they are, you will see winners of those competitions. Please give a round of applause. We very much appreciate all of our competition hosts, and we challenge you as students to enter more and to do more. We would also like to take just a moment and thank all of the judges in both the application showcase and the CPO today. If you were a judge, please stand. Over 75 volunteers over the last 2 days gave their time to spend with you. So thank you from the bottom of our heart.
I know what you're wondering, and yes, it is another time to celebrate our schools with the conference program overviews. Let's give all these upcoming schools a round of applause. To start us off, let's give a big hand for Cedarville High School. Next is Henderson Magnet Middle School. Mount Vernon Enola High School. Wonderview High School. M.L. King Magnet High School. Morrilton High School, Batesville High School, Conwell Egan Catholic High School, Fountain Lake High School, Greenbrier High School, Star City High School, and not the East Fork, but West Fork Middle School.
Maumelle Middle School, Dumas Junior High School, Pottsville High School, Malvern High School, Northside High School, Greenwood High School, DeWitt High School, Seebeck, Two Rivers High School, Joe T. Robinson Middle School, Randall D. Lynch Middle School, Beebe Middle School, Lakeside High School, and Biola High School.
Let's hear it one more time for all these fantastic schools.
One of the most important components in EAST is also one of the most difficult, student growth.
We have recognized programs for involvement in the community and project sophistication. This EAST Founders Award of Excellence goes to the program that exceeds expectations for student growth.
The student growth in this EAST program is above and beyond and does an outstanding job of demonstrating their growth.
Their passion and genuineness are definite attention getters.
The EAST Founders Award Program of Excellence for Student Growth goes to
Harrisburg High School.
Excuse us, it was Harrisburg Middle School. I'm Melanie Jackson.
And I'm Kaylee Curtis.
We're representatives from Harrisburg Middle School.
We greatly appreciate all the support that we have received.
Thank you.
A celebration like tonight would not be possible without the help from so many. And this evening we have with us East Board members, we have Advisory Council members, legislators, community, and also other friends of East. And we are so thankful for them and that they are with us this evening. Please take a moment to help join me in thanking them. As a nonprofit organization, East really does rely on the help from our sponsors and other supporters in the community. So take a few minutes to join me in thanking some of our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor this evening, the Arkansas Department of Education. A special thank you to our Education Commissioner, Dr. Tom Kimbrell, and his outstanding staff at the Arkansas Department of Education, their leadership, and thank you so much for being such great colleagues in education. Our gold sponsor, Esri. Our silver sponsor, FIS. Our bronze sponsors, Trimble, University of Arkansas at Little Rock, Engineering and Information Technology, the Arkansas Capital Corporation Group. A special thanks also for all the work that they did for the elevator pitch competition and all that they've done with us this year. Also, Hewlett-Packard. We would also like to thank AT&T, First Security, Axiom, Otis, the University of Arkansas Center for Advanced Spatial Technology, the Asset Initiative and the Arkansas Science Technology Authority, UCA Center for Economic and Community Development, and the STEM Residential College. And a special thanks this evening also to AT&T for sponsoring our VIP reception, and also to Apple, who helped provide computers for our conference use. So thank you, and please join me again for thanking them.
So last night, we all had the opportunity to take place in a funky, fresh fusion, if you know what I mean. Last night, we had the East Fusion, where we all kind of got out of our comfort zones and, busted some moves. So we would like to thank Axiom for making that possible, because, I had a good time dancing, and if I'm having a good time dancing, you guys are definitely having a great time dancing. And so, now it's time to see something that you've all put together. Last night, it really escalated fast. It got out of hand. It escalated quickly. I think the best way just to really show you how last night was with a little clip like this.
Con los terroristas.
So that obviously makes me want to shake a little bit, but we're not in Harlem, so it'll be kind of more like a hot springs shake. Woo! That was a good one. Yeah, I know. That's what you guys are paying for right there. Next, guys, we get a message from Mr. Matt Dozier. Do you have something for us?
Thank you, Luke. The 2012-2013 school year was a big one for the East Initiative. We got to do something that we had long dreamed of, and we started the next stage of East. We'd long talked about how we could take East and put it into more of the school. But with the help of the Arkansas STEMworks initiative, we were able to begin to build foundations under those castles in the sky. The result was East Core. It's an educational system that takes the best practices of the East model and puts them into science and mathematics courses. Leading this effort were two of our very special staff members, Miss Dondi Jackson and Miss Melissa Gallegos. Working with our friends at the Department of Education, the math and science coordinators for the state, universities, and especially our friends at the Center for Advanced Spatial Technology, these two took what was a lot of ideas written on a board and 8 PowerPoint slides and created something that I think we're all going to be proud of. Tonight, we honor our pioneer schools. When the call went out, they answered, and they have been brave and steadfast ever since. Because when you pilot a program, it's a lot like true love. It never runs straight. Please join me as we recognize these schools. I would like to call to the stage representatives from Harrisburg High School, Hot Springs High School, Marlton High School, Prairie Grove High School, and Star City High School. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the schools that are leading the next wave as East develops. Our goal is to take East into every class, in every school, for every student. Thank you so much.
Next, on our agenda for the night are more conference program overviews. So would you please, let's do another little pre-clap here. Let's give these guys some credit. I'll start us off. First, let's recognize Nettleton High School, Watson Chapel High School, Cross County High School, Searcy High School, Roberts Elementary School, Star City Middle School, East End Public Charter Schools, Batesville Junior High School, Greenbrier Junior High School, Har-Bear High School, Westwood Elementary, Woodlawn, excuse me. Congratulations.
Hot Springs High School, Dirks High School, Magnet Cove High School, Man Magnet Middle School, Omaha High School, Bismarck High School, Prairie Grove High School, Clinton High School, Mountain Home High School, Jonesboro High School, Mena Middle School,
It was a nightmare.
Valley View High School, Gardner Magnet Elementary School, and Lamar High School.
Give one more round of applause for these excellent overachievers. Congratulations, schools.
It was a nightmare.
Right there.
It was a nightmare.
Right there.
It was a nightmare.
Right there.
It was a nightmare.
Now would you please give a warm welcome to the founder of ACE, Mr. Tam Stevenson.
It was a nightmare.
Right there.
It was a nightmare.
Wow. What a night. What a year for East. Matt just told me we had the most ever superior schools, 105 superior schools. Guys, wow. Excellent. Excellent job. You know, I'm always humbled. Every time I get to stand up here and I look out at this group and I think, my gosh, you know, it's the culmination of not just my life's work, but the life's work of a vast number of people. And when the idea of having a live founders final judging came up, I was kind of faced with a problem of who in the world can I get to decide, to discern, to distinguish among all of these wonderful, outstanding, deserving programs and to just pick one. Would you like that job? I can tell you, it's not easy. It's quite a challenge. But when we were faced with that problem, it really didn't take too long to decide that, well, that's really not going to be too tough, because all I've got to do is reach out to all of those people that helped to make East a possibility instead of just a dream, and find those people that I personally would trust with deciding the excellence or what sets the standard for what my life's work represents, and that was not difficult to do. I came up with some people. I want to recognize those people real quickly. These are the people who, the students who made it to the final of the overall founders judging had to present to or got to present to last night. Dr. Terry James, would you stand up for me? Dr. James, a long-time early adopter. Jerry Devereaux, East board member. Jerry, where are you? Stand up for me. Malcolm Williamson from the Center for Advanced Spatial Technology. Malcolm, thank you so very, very much. Allison Nicholas. Allison was not able to join us last night, but she has in the past, and I'm sure she'll do that again for us in the future. And Charlie Fitzpatrick. Charlie, where are you? Long time East Center. Thank you all very, very much. Those are the keepers, if you will, of what excellence can be when you give students the opportunity and the expectation to exceed everyone's thinking of what is possible with our young citizens today. It is my pleasure this year to introduce last year's Founders winners. And these are two students from a program from Batesville Junior High School, and they are going to do the honors of passing the torch, if you will, to this year's recipient. And I would like to introduce Dustin Daniels and Elise Fry. Would you come up and take over? Thank y'all.
Looking back, it wasn't winning Founders that made us successful, but the process. It allowed us to better comprehend the three major components that make a successful East program: student growth, community collaboration, project sophistication, and innovation. I would greatly recommend each East program to enter for Founders because it will make your program stronger. It will raise the intensity you see in your classroom, and it will bring your program to the next level.
Winning Founders Award last year meant a lot to the Batesville Junior High. However, it also affected me greatly personally. I've always liked to keep in mind that I can achieve anything as long as I focus, truly care about it, and want it. And I realized that when we decided to do Founders last year, I realized that it was just the application process that was helping me grow enough as a student. And I feel that the student growth aspect for overall Founders comes from the application process. I would strongly encourage any eligible school to try for Founders. Really, facilitators, you will notice a difference in your students' growth, maturity, determination, responsibility. It's just outstanding. I know that my facilitators have noticed this in us. Speaking on this stage last year really kind of helped me realize that with the skills that I've gained through East, I can go anywhere from here. And that's just kind of how it's impacted me. And it's helped me realize what I want to do after I graduate and how to get there with the skills that I've gained. So the East Founders Award goes to the East program that has continued to demonstrate the power of what happens when all principles of East come together.
Energy, passion, insight, commitment, innovation, and inspiration.
Strong community involvement with projects that extend typical expectations.
Students taking actions and ownership continue to not just impress, but demonstrate all that is possible.
Welcome to the stage, our East Timothy R. Stevenson's Founders Award winner of 2013, Harbor High School.
Doing? Awesome. We're doing pretty good too. My name is Daniel George.
And I'm Madison Haskins.
And we are just so honored, so very honored to be able to represent East at Harbor High School and receive this award tonight. We just want to thank all of you truly, and we just want to talk to you about why we love our school and how we believe it represents East to its highest potential.
We have over 70 students in our program working on 16 major projects. And all of these projects are in communication with a community partner. So every student has been in communication with a community partner this year.
And as we were putting together this presentation, we realized it came down to three main ideas, and that was preservation, the relationships we build with the people in the community that we work with, and the advanced technology we use to get the job done. And the first project we want to talk to you about is our Watts for Wildcats project last year that we received a $10,000 EETT grant to accomplish. And the entire point of this project was to educate elementary school children in our school district about energy efficiency and how they could apply it to their schools and their homes. And we did this through our use of energy superheroes. We actually made up superheroes, Captain Energy and Super Saver. And we had a great time with them. We were able to have fun and really get them to retain the idea of what is energy efficiency. And then we sent them home with weatherization kits that we obtained through our community partners. And we sent them home, and they were able to get these lifestyles and skills at home. Now, at the end of the year, we brought these kids all back for a community celebration at which Captain Energy was also present. And they were able to see a documentary that we had made all year, and as well as some GIS maps that outline the energy inefficiencies in our school district and what we could do to fix those. Now, although the project effectively ended with this community celebration, it has also been continued into this year through our work in our Recycling for the Environment project, which is aimed at bringing recycling awareness to the city of Springdale.
Another project that we're working on this year is our White Oak Cemetery project. And earlier this year, we were approached by 2 volunteers from the White Oak Cemetery, and they brought in the only records that they had of the entire cemetery to us, but they were literally falling apart in our hands. So what we did was we made a temporary spreadsheet to make this information a lot easier to read and a lot easier to use. Our second step was to make a map using ArcGIS mapping software and our Trimble GPS units to just provide them with a map that's easier to read and displays this information a lot more clearly. And we're also planning on providing them with a website that has all the same information, that displays this information, so friends and families can access it.
Over the summer, one of our East 3 students, Eduardo Martinez, approached Ms. Lamb with the idea of working with the American Cancer Society to hold a Relay for Life at Harbor High School. And she was pretty skeptical about it at first because she knew that we had already worked on our honor flight and our video camp projects over the summer. So to prove it to her, the next day he actually showed up at school at 6 o'clock in the morning, during the summer, mind you, with 4 other students that weren't even in East yet. And they got to work immediately. And they've actually been planning this event, the Relay for Life, all year. And it's going to be held on March 29th. And this project has actually started the formation and the growth of a new project that we're currently working on as well.
And this project is called Change for Life. And Change for Life was started by an interview that Relay for Life did with an 8-year-old cancer patient named Kaylee. And she had the opportunity to go to Disney World through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And we couldn't help but wonder, what if something would have happened while she was in Disney World? What if she would have gotten sick? And when you're a cancer patient, time is of the essence. So getting these stacks of medical records from one place to another in a timely manner is nearly impossible. So we're decided to create an app using Xcode to take these stacks of medical records and just put them literally at your fingertips. And we're also planning on creating a website to be able to access in case you don't have a smartphone or you cannot download the app. What's really, really cool about this team is that it's comprised of a very diverse group of East 1 students. And they all work together, either working on the app, working on a documentary, or working on planning a community celebration. And they all work towards one unified goal.
Yes, definitely. And actually, speaking of smartphones, a project that I got the pleasure to work on this year was our texting and driving initiative. And it actually started off simply as a documentary outlining the obvious problems given by texting and driving and what people in the community are doing to solve it. But it became so much more due to our partnership with a local organization known as TextFace. And my favorite thing about working with TextFace is that they are invested in this project just as much as I am, just as much as anybody else in this project is. And we don't just meet up with them once a month to see how they're doing. They're not an acquaintance. No, we have weekly project meetings in which they are just as much a part of the team as we are, and we discuss the current status of our project and how we can take that to the next level and make an innovative difference in our community. And one of the things that we discussed that actually became a reality alongside our documentary that we're currently working on is a texting and driving awareness event, which we'll be holding on March 15th at our high school, Harbor. And at this event, students will actually be able to experience the dangers of texting and driving in a safe environment through our use of a virtual driving simulator.
TextFace has really exemplified how a community partner can change the way a project is. But something that's really changed me is Harbor East work with veterans. We've achieved a certain kind of depth with veterans, and it all started with our annual Hour of the Hero event that we hosted for the 7th time this year. And that kind of sparked another project, our Veterans Oral Histories Project, which was a grant project that we worked in consortium with 4 other schools, Harbor East being the lead school. And we went out and we interviewed 10 different veterans. And we sent those interviews of those veterans to the Library of Congress and the Pryor Center at the University of Arkansas so they can be documented there forever. But before we even finished all of these interviews, 2 of the veterans passed away. And we got to attend both of those funerals. And when we got to the funerals, the families asked us to come up and sit with them as family. And that had the biggest impact on my life that I can't even describe to you guys.
Through this passion and this work with veterans and the relationships that we built as a result of that, I'm sorry, I'm just getting emotional. Through the relationships that we built with these veterans, we graciously accepted the opportunity to work with the Northwest Arkansas Honor Flight. And what the Honor Flight is it's a national organization that has a branch here in Northwest Arkansas, and it sends World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. to see their memorial, the World War II memorial, every year. And we actually got the chance to work as a camera crew, a documentation crew, on the May 5th, 2012 Honor Flight. And so we got to document the experiences and interview all 82 of the World War II veterans that went on this flight, and we got to document our own experiences of the event as well.
And I got the amazing opportunity to be able to actually go to Washington, D.C. And while I was there, I utilized a technology that I was really interested in, and that's our VR software. And through 3D Vista, I created a World War II memorial that included less than 100 pictures, but 3 different panoramas, audio, and it was all closed captioned. And we were giving this as a gift to the National Park Service, and we're in the process actually of getting this on their website. So we're really excited about that.
And the most amazing thing that I saw on this project, I wasn't even on it, but I was part of a camera crew that was on the ground at the XNA airport before the veterans took off and after they arrived in the evening. And the most amazing thing that I saw was that
In the evening, when the veterans arrived, there was tears in their eyes as they came down the escalator at XNA, and they saw their families cheering and clapping for them and honoring them the way that they deserved to be honored. And I just knew, I saw in their eyes the closure of knowing that their journey, their 70-year-long journey, was finally over. Since the time they first put that uniform on to the day that they died, which some of the veterans was not even very long after that, after the honor flight was over. And I just saw there, when I saw our students actually coming behind them, Robert Watson and Alexis Arenas, I saw tears in their eyes as well. And they were filming the veterans. They were getting their last experiences on this flight. And they were crying as well. And they could hardly even hold the cameras up. And I realized then that these projects that we're doing are not just affecting, they're not just affecting some random person in the community. They're not just serving people and doing a good deed a day. These projects are truly changing lives, and not just the lives of these veterans. They're changing our lives as well. And these veterans are teaching us, and we are honoring them the way that they deserve to be honored, and that is awesome. And it taught me so much about what East is and how our East program has truly helped me grow as a student, as a friend, as a leader, and as a fellow man. And we tell you all this because we love our program and because we love everything that our program has done in our lives and in the lives of those in our community. And we just want to thank you so much for giving us this award. We are so honored to be a part of this program. And I can honestly say that it's changed my life immensely and helped me find my career paths and my passions. And I know Madison could say the same thing.
Right, and we just thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to talk about the program that we love so much, and that has, of course, affected us in so many different ways.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, we also have another correction. Martin Luther King Elementary School is also a superior rating school. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you, and good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out.